I'm always impressed that they know how to use it already.
Mic check, Cindy. Can I have mic check?
Hi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No?
Good job.
Keep
Enough
going.
time.
789? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, got it.
You're going to be mostly staying.
All right, Matthew, go ahead and count to 10
1, 2,
in French.
okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Six.
He's good. Thank you, Matthew. Good job.
Come on over here.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Bakersfield West Rotary Stroop Family Foundation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, Kern High School District, and AC Electric Company, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
And I'm Cindy.
And in studio with us, we have Matthew. And Matthew, if somebody wanted to get a hold of us at Do the Math, what would they need to do?
For math homework help, call in Bakersfield 636-4357, toll free 1-866-636-6284. Email dothemath@kern.org. We're online at dothemathonline.net, and on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right, nicely done. Now, you're in studio. Why don't you let everybody know where you go to school and what grade you're in?
I go to Christian McAuliffe Elementary, and I'm in 6th grade.
How's 6th grade going?
Good?
Yeah? What's the best thing about 6th grade?
We don't do as much hard PE as we did in 5th grade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because I think in 5th grade you had to do like a physical fitness test, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's why you did all of that. That made you better equipped for 6th grade then, right?
Yes.
All right. You like PE though?
Yeah,
All right, all right, good. Well, you know what? You're not here to do PE. You know why you're here?
Math.
To do math. All right, so over to the board. Let's do one of the problems that you're working on for homework. All right, so head on over there. Cindy will write down the problem, and then Matthew, you go ahead and kind of help Cindy get through it, but she's there to help you if you need it. All right, first equation, negative 5x plus 9y is equal to negative 12. The second equation, 3x plus 2y is equal to 22. So Matthew, how would you like to start? And if you're stuck, Cindy can help you out.
Okay. So first, I would like to add both equations together. Okay. 2x.
Okay, so before you keep going, just because I know, if you add them right now, will you still have an
Wait.
x and a y?
No, that's a negative. Sorry.
But will you still have x and y in your problem if you keep doing that? Like if you add this, will
Oh,
you,
yes.
so you want to try to get one of them to go away. So there's one more step you have to do before you add them. So we want to make either these two the same number so that they will disappear and make 0, or we want to make these two the same number.
Okay.
So can 3 multiply by anything to become a 5?
3 multiplied. No.
No. Can 2 make a 9?
No.
So that means we're going to have to multiply both equations by some number. So it's kind of like doing common fractions, common denominators. So what can 3 and 5 both, what do they have in common on their multiples? What's the lowest common multiple of 3 and 5?
15.
Yeah, so we can make these become 15s. All right? So how will we make that become a 15?
We multiply it by negative 3.
Yeah, let's go ahead and keep it as a negative though,
Negative,
since you
okay.
want them to be opposite so they can make 0 later. So we won't worry about negative. We'll just multiply it by 3. So what you want to do is multiply everything here by 3.
Okay. So, negative.
So I'm just going to write it like this so you can, okay. So everything by 3.
That would be negative 15
And put
x
your x, yeah.
plus 9y.
So don't forget to multiply it by 3.
It's 27y.
And then put your plus in between there, your add signs. Okay, good.
So,
I'm
yeah.
glad you, because a lot of people forget to multiply that one by the number. Okay, so now what do you need to multiply the bottom one by to make it become a 15?
5.
Yeah, so you're going to do this whole thing by 5. Okay. So write down what you get.
15x plus 10y equals 22 times 5 is 108. Wait,
Okay, remultiply that one for me.
yeah, wait.
Do it like this. What's 5 times 20?
Oh, it's 110?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I was like. Okay,
Okay, so now you're going to keep going from where you started before. So now you want to add them up.
okay. So that would make these cancel out. 27, 10, 37 plus y equals. Wait.
I was going to say,
Do
you
it
can
from
do the
the-
scratch work. It's okay.
Okay, 74, okay. Equals 74.
Okay, so now can you figure out what y is?
Yeah, okay. It's 37.
All right, before you finish that, though, even though that
Oh,
says
oh,
add, what's the
it's-
37 and the y connected really mean?
Multiplication.
Yeah, so you
So
want
it's
to.
division.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
You
really
can
hard
still
to
leave it there, just write the division bar and erase your subtraction.
Okay. Divided by 30.
Yeah, just remove that. All right. Okay, now we'll do that to that side.
Progress. Y equals. Okay.
Well, what do you think it would be? Since 7, and that's a 4, what do you think that has to be multiplied by to get that to equal 4 in the ones digit? Most likely. And the fact that that's only a 7 and it's only like not that much bigger.
What?
So, because you're going to divide this, right?
Yeah.
So since it's 74, and we want to do, 37 times something, and it has to end in a 4, what would that have to be to make it end in a 4?
A 2.
Yeah. You could do the long division. It's just like kind of trying to
Yeah.
make you see it in your mind a little.
Okay. But then that'll be a 1.
Yeah. Yeah. See?
Okay then. So it's gonna be 2.
Yeah, there you go. So we got all that work for y equals 2, but do we know the whole answer yet?
No.
Because what else do we need?
X.
Yeah, so what are you going to do with that y to get your x? And
We get. Pretty sure it's one of these problems. Yeah.
yeah, you want to use one of your, and it doesn't matter which one, whichever one you think looks like an easier one to work with. You just have to make sure you put that number in for your y.
3x.
So you chose the bottom one. Is that because it's smaller numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 times. Forgot there's a y.
Well,
No, no. This
there you go.
is the
Because
y.
you actually plugged in the number for y. Yeah, you replaced it.
So then that would make 3x plus 4 equals 22.
And go ahead and explain like what you're doing so people at home know why you're subtracting,
Oh.
like how you know to subtract. And,
Because I want to leave the x
Mm-hmm.
alone, so I have to take away the other numbers.
okay.
Like,
It was
and that's just-
addition, so you have to subtract
Yeah.
it to make it cancel out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cancel these out. 3x equals 18. Then I divide. Divide 6 equals x.
All right. So now you have your x and your y. So how should you write your final answer?
2.
Yeah. So that's your ordered pair, right? How do you know how to check it if you needed to check it?
He can check it. I'm sure he knows how
Yeah.
to do that, but we're going to move on right now because he did do that because that's kind of a long problem
That
right there,
is.
and to check it is going to take equally as long. So nicely done on that problem right there, Matthew. I know there are a lot of students probably wondering, well, that's kind of lengthy, but you've just got to stay with it step by step by step. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30 this afternoon, as we do most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. Time now for today's Math in the News. All right, today's Math in the News. Did you guys know that there was a big event today?
No.
No? No? Well, yeah, I didn't know either until I opened up the newspaper today. But anyway, there was a big event.
Oh, it even says big event
It says
right
big
there
event,
at the
right?
top.
So it's easy enough to see, right? There was a big event in the newspaper today. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at the advertisement here, and there's some things that we're going to want to take a look at. So it says 5 years, 0% interest, no down payment, no minimum purchase, and you get 20% off. Does that sound like a pretty good deal?
To me, yes.
Yeah, it does sound like a pretty good deal, right? Now let's take a look at the other options that they have on there also. 3 years at 30% off, or 1 year at 40% off. Now, out of those different options, Matthew, which one do you think seems to be the best one?
I would say the 3 years and 30% off
You think the 3 years and 30% off? Why that one?
because it's between 5 and 1.
Okay.
So you get
So it's between 5 and 1, so you
Yeah.
think that one would be the best one? All right. Let's take a look at what the monthly payments would be, all right? Because if there's no interest on this, we don't need to worry about calculating interest and seeing if it's going to have a big effect on the price overall. So let's imagine we bought something for $1,000, all right? So are you guys able to erase the board and we'll get a... So I think if you just use the eraser end on the tip and hit that red X down at the bottom, we might be able to...
The razor?
I think so. No?
I can't get it to work. It normally works.
Or down here on this one.
This X? No, this one. Yeah, I tried that.
That'll undo it. It's
Here,
out.
ready?
Here's what we'll do. We'll try this. Oh, you're just
You
going to
can
erase it
do
all?
it, can't you?
There you go.
There we go.
Matthew, clean
Magic.
up that other part over there. You know how to do that.
Oh, no. There we go.
wait.
All right, so let's take a look. So let's put $1,000 up on the top.
Okay.
Just write $1,000. All right, so the first one we have, so over on the left-hand side, let's put 5 years. So all the way over on the left, yeah. So we'll go 5 years, 20%.
5 years, 20. Forgot how to write
So
one.
think, if you bought something for $1,000 and we're going to take 20% off, do you know how much you would take off?
200.
$200, right? So 5 years, what is the item actually going to cost to buy it if we're taking $200 off?
800.
All right, so next to it, put equals $800 next to the 5-year one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just like right here.
800.
And we'll put $sign on that also so we know. All right, so now let's go to the next one, 3 years. Could just go right underneath your 5-year and we'll go 3 years. And that was 30%.
30.
So if we're going to pay 30% less, how much is the item going to be?
700.
Good, so let's put 700 up there. And then let's do the final one. 1 year, 40% off.
4.
So if it's 40% off, how much are we going to pay?
600.
$600. All right. So now taking a look at that. Now you at first thought, hey, yeah, I want to do the 3 years because it's in between the 1 and 5. So if you don't have to worry about paying interest and you wanted to buy that item for $1,000, but they said, here are 3 deals, which one would you rather go with?
The cheaper one.
Which would be which one?
1 year.
1 year, $600, right? Because you're paying less money overall, right? Now, we need to figure out if you're going to pay it over a year, you're going to have to pay every month a certain amount. So how would you figure out how much it is for every month?
I would divide it by 12.
Right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go 600 divided by 12. Now to save time, just put equals next to that.
Equals.
All right. That is going to be $50 a month. Need a $sign on there. And then put
Sorry.
per month. Before we continue, do you think the other ones are going to be more than $50 a month or less than $50 a month?
More.
Why do you think that?
Because overall in the year it's more expense than
So it
1
does
year.
cost more than the $600, right? But do we have a lot more months?
Yes. So each month would cost less than
So what do you think now? Do you think it'll cost more or $50 per month?
less.
Less, all right? So let's take a look at 3 years. 3 years will be $19.44.
Okay.
Wow.
So it goes $19.40.
4 cents per month. So 44.
44 cents.
Whoa, you need a
Dollars.
dollar sign over there. So $14 or $19.44.
Per month.
Right. And the 5 year, take a guess. What do you think it might be? Looking at what you've got right now. So you went from $50 to about $20. So what do you think this next one's going to be about?
$5.
$5? Well, that'd be nice, but it's not quite that low. It's going to be $13.33.
Okay.
So $13.33 per month.
Dollar sign. 13 and
33.
1333.
$33 per month.
All right, so taking a look at it, you see now what the cost is going to be for the item for 1, 3, and 5 years. $600, $700, or $800. You know you wanted to get it for $600, right? But it's going to cost you $50 a month. Now, why would somebody say, I know it's only $600, but I want to pay $19.44 a month? Why would somebody need to do that instead of the $50 a month?
If they can't pay the $50 all right away.
There you go. If you can't pay the $50 a month, you have to go with one of the other ones, right? And pay a little bit more overall, but you do get the item at a savings anyway.
Yeah.
And that is the big event. That is today's Math in the News. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do thank you for Matthew helping out with today's Math in the News. Right now we have an opportunity. We're going to head out to the Regional Occupational Center and see what they're doing with the veterinary section.
Here we are, your favorite and my favorite part of the show, Math in the Real World, where we can answer the age-old question, when are we going to use this, right? That's the question that all math students seem to have. And we're here with Mrs. Cox. Thank you so much for your time today. We want to know a little bit about this new facility because we're excited to hear at the ROC Center, right? This is a new vet tech clinic. We want to know all about that. But first of all, tell us a little bit about ROC and what happens at this place.
Okay, ROC, we are Kern High School District answer to having all students graduate both college and career ready.
Okay.
And so for career, we do career and technical education right here. And we have a training facility where we have over 35 different programs. And one of the programs is going to be highlighted today. But our goal is that all students can graduate from here, earning a certification here in any industry and get out and ready for an entry-level job.
Man, they're ready to work. And you
Yes.
can't always say that with some paths, right? They just
True.
require some more training. But these paths specifically lend themselves to working right away.
That is correct.
What an amazing opportunity.
Right, and right now with Kern High School District expanding in career and technical education all over Bakersfield, we're building a brand new facility out there, but we want you to know some of the great things we're doing right here at the Regional Occupational Center. And we've expanded 5 brand new programs, and so today I think you're going to get an opportunity to tour one of those programs.
Let's do that. Yeah. Who's waiting for us over here? We want to know. Oh, my
I'm
goodness.
going to introduce you to our doctor.
Hi, Doctor.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Tell us a little bit about what you do here and where we're going to go and what we're going to see today, because I'm excited.
Well, this is the ROC School of Veterinary Science, so
Okay.
we're pretty excited. It's not uncommon to see birds and rabbits and dogs and cats from the shelter even,
Okay.
and even a gecko every now and then.
All right. So there's no limit on the animals that can come in
No,
here.
we see all sorts of animals.
All right. So you have created a facility in which students can learn about the veterinary industry, right? And
They
they can
can-
learn both book smart and they can learn hands-on stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
And
Tell us what role
grooming.
you had in
Yeah.
creating this program and creating this facility.
I was actually hired last year from industry, which means I
Okay.
was hired, I was a clinical veterinarian,
Okay.
and I had some teaching experience, and they said, hey, we're going to build a teaching hospital. How would you like to teach in it? What a great facility and what a great staff to help us to do that.
Right.
So we also have a registered veterinary technician, which is the equivalent of an RN.
Okay.
Actually closer to a physician assistant on the veterinary side.
Okay.
So we're both here teaching students hands-on and math skills.
Nice. And you have the experience to back it up. Okay, let's see some of this
Only
place.
about 42 years.
All right. Wow. Doesn't get much better than that. That's a good deal. Okay, so,
So this is the
this is
lobby.
the lobby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is where somebody would come in with their pet, and students will actually be here making appointments and greeting clients and discovering what the problem is, and then leading them to an examination room.
Okay.
So this
So
is
just
one
like
of
a
the-
regular vet that you go
This
to,
is
you
a
would
regular
be.
veterinary hospital.
Okay.
It's still currently in construction, so you'll see some boxes here and there. So this is an examination room.
Right.
This is where the patient would get a physical exam. We would determine what the patient needs as far as testing and treatment. We have a full pharmacy. We have an x-ray room. We have ultrasound. We have dentistry. And we have a double surgical suite. So we can actually do surgeries. So the students are learning how to take x-rays, they've actually seen a couple of ultrasounds in various stages of pregnancy already.
Wow.
So get to see
man.
little baby puppies.
So that you just throw them right in there so they can really
Yeah.
get some good experience here.
Right.
And it much more exciting than just looking at the pages of a book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they actually get to listen to a heart and calculate a heart rate.
Okay, good deal. All right.
Yeah.
So what other kind of facilities do you have here? You have this is the examination room, right? And then where might they go from here?
Well, the doctor would come in this door and a student would be here getting history from the client, getting a heart rate and respiration rate,
Okay.
taking a temperature, and then this is the pharmacy area. There'll be soon to be computers going in here with a computerized medical record system. That's a pharmacy fridge where vaccines would be kept and pharmaceuticals to be dispensed from here. And the students would be filling the prescriptions and we would be double checking them because they have to learn a special language
Right.
to fill a prescription, plus they have to be able to do dosage calculations and make sure they have enough pills of the right number and the right concentration to go home with the pet. Wow. So they would be doing that.
It really is all in-house, but there's
Right.
more.
There's more. What if the patient needed surgery or what if it had a laceration?
Right.
Then we would be going into this area, which is the treatment area.
Oh my gosh.
We have 3 treatment tables and in the middle is a dental table that goes up and down.
Okay.
And that's where the students need to know the Tridian system, which is numbers.
Numbers.
The
Hey, hooray
teeth
for
are
numbers.
numbered, yes. So that's called the canis major, goes up and down.
Okay.
Right.
I like it.
That's the surgical room. There's anesthesia machines in there, and guess what? They have to know percentage of anesthesia,
Right.
which is a number.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt about
Important.
that. Because not
Very
not enough won't do what you want to do, and too much, of course, is really dangerous, right?
And you can see EKG machines in the background, and we have those. And over in the corner is the X-ray room. Intensive care is over there, the surgical scrub station, and in that corner is the in-house laboratory where we do lab tests for patients to see if their kidneys are okay, do they have enough platelets to clot?
Right. Right.
So the students will be drawing blood.
Oh
They'll
my
be
gosh.
running the lab tests, checking urine to see if there's an infection, doing all of that.
And once a student comes through this program and gets a chance to be in all of these stations, are they ready to work in a vet's office?
They're ready to begin, and they'll go to community classroom, or they'll either be here with us seeing patients, or they'll be at a local veterinary office seeing patients.
Okay.
They can move on from there, going on to college to become an RVT or veterinarian. To apply to veterinary school, they have to have clinical experience, so they get their start here.
Right.
To be an RVT, you have to have clinical experience, so they get their start here.
Yeah, they get their start here, and they have to know math. So I
Yes.
know that my sister teaches equine science at Modesto Junior College, and she has students all the time that say, I want to be a vet. I want to be a vet. She says, well, you must love math. And they say, oh, no, I don't like math. She says, well, that may either have to change or you might want to find something else new because there is
Math
a ton
has
of
a
math.
bad rap, and you know what? The kids learn to love it here.
Yes, they do.
Because they see how important it is.
Yeah.
They see it translated into real life versus it being just on a page.
Right.
So
Right, right.
I told them, you know what? You do math every day when you choose a pizza, right?
Yep.
It's not a whole piece of pizza you're eating, right?
Right. It's a fraction of that
It's
pizza.
a fraction of that pizza. Guess what? or you can eat a half pizza or quarter pizza, or you can eat a whole one in pieces.
That's
So-
right. There you go. Good deal.
So we always do math whether we realize it or not.
Good deal. We're so appreciative of your time. I know I learned a ton, and I think I might have to maybe even bring you a patient or two from my place. We have a
That
dog
would
that
be
might need a little bit of
fun.
effort here. We're going to go ahead and leave our famous Do the Math tile. Thank you so
Ooh,
much for your time.
excellent.
Maybe you can add this in the last bit of construction, and that can be part of your facility. And
Outstanding.
man, such a neat place. I learned a ton already. We also want to know what else the students are actually doing today. I think we're going to go see some grooming and fun stuff like that. But right now, we got to go back to the studio for some more math problems in-house.
All right, thanks for that, Scott. And ROC, a lot of great programs down there, and we certainly do appreciate them inviting Do the Math to come down there and learn a little bit more about the programs they do offer. We have Matthew in studio, but right now we're going to go to the phones. And Haley, how are you today? Hello, Haley.
Hi.
You're a 6th grade student, correct?
Yes.
And what school do you attend?
Sandrini.
All right, as soon as you're ready, let's hear the math problem you're working on.
Okay. The problem that I'm working on is 6x plus 7y equals negative 9, and negative 4x negative 5y equals 5.
Okay, Haley, right?
Yes.
Hi, Haley. Okay, so did you already start to solve it? Did you have a thought on what to start with?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you think? Tell me what you're thinking.
So I'm thinking that we either take the number x or the number y and multiply it by all through the other line.
Okay, so you want to make something cancel out. So do you think it would be easier in this problem to make the x's cancel or the y's cancel?
The y.
So you decided on the y. Okay, so then you're going to multiply the top equation, the 6x plus 7y equals negative 9. What'd you multiply it by? Did you do it
I
yet?
multiplied the top line by negative 5
Okay, so can you tell me why you chose negative 5?
because negative 5 is negative 5y, which is what I'm multiplying all through the line.
Okay, and then on the bottom, did you use positive 7 or did you use negative 7?
Positive 7.
Okay, so what's going to happen on that is you're going to end up with two negative 35y's. Because if you do the top one by negative 5, you'll get negative 35 on your y. And then on the bottom, you still have negative 35. So it'd be better to keep the 5 that you multiply by on the top as a positive, so that they'll be opposite signs and you can cancel them out later.
Yeah, that'd be easier.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's do multiply by 5. So when you do 6x times 5, go ahead and tell me what you get on that top one when you multiply it out by 5.
Negative 30x.
Okay, so let's put 30x because we're going to use positive 5 so that we get a positive on the y. Okay. And then 7y times 5.
Wait, we're using positive on 5?
Yeah, we're using positive so that the 35 will stay a positive because it's already a positive in the problem right now.
Okay.
Okay? So 30x plus 35y equals,
Positive 35y.
okay, uh-huh.
And then if you multiply 5 by negative 9, it will equal negative 45.
Okay, so negative 45. And then on your bottom one, you said you were going to multiply by 7, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so multiply by 7, and then you get what? What'd you get?
Negative 28x. And then if you multiply 7 by negative 5y, it will be negative 35y. And then if you multiply 7 by 5, it will be 35.
Okay, nice job. Okay, so now we can use the elimination or addition method, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when you add 30x with negative 28x, what do you get?
Positive 2x.
Okay. And then what about the 35y and the negative 35y?
They cancel each other out.
Okay, good. And then what'd you get for the negative 45 with the positive 35?
Negative 10.
Okay. Okay, so now you need to finish it all the way, right? So we have 2x equals negative 10. So how are you going to get x?
You're going to divide by positive 2.
Okay, nice.
And then your answer should be negative 5.
Okay, so now we know what x is. We know x is negative 5. We need to find y still, so we need to plug it into one of our original problems. Do you think it's easier to plug it into the top one or the bottom one?
The bottom.
Okay, did you choose it because it has smaller numbers?
What?
Did you choose that one because the numbers are a little bit smaller?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that. So we got x is -5, so -4 would multiply by -5 because we're replacing that x. And then the rest of the problem stays the same, so -5y equals 5. And then you multiply the -4 with the -5, so you get 20. Okay, so right now I have 20 minus 5y equals 5. So now I got to solve that out. So what are you going to do to solve that out?
You're going to subtract the 20.
Okay, because we want to make that disappear, right? We want to make it cancel out, so we have to do that on both sides. All right, and then on the 5 subtract 20, what do you get?
-15.
Right. And then when I bring down that 5y, is it positive or negative?
Negative.
Okay, nice. Okay, then what's my last step?
So we're going to divide -5y by -5, and on the other side of that is -15. You're going to divide that also by -5.
Okay.
And your answer should be +3.
So we got x is -5 and y is 3, so then we want to write our ordered pair -5, comma 3 in parentheses. Is that what you got? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
good job.
nicely done, Haley. A great problem right there. And for working at a great problem like that, you've got yourself a couple of tickets to the Bakersfield Condors. So hockey season is in full swing right now, so hopefully you get an opportunity to go check out the Condors. We have Matthew in studio. We'll put him to work right after this. Today we're at Branch Elementary, home of the Mustangs, and we're here to Well, today we're back at Branch Elementary, and we got some 5th and 6th grade students wrapping up our order of operations. Are you guys ready? So you've got some pencil and paper, and that way you can work out the problems if you need to, right? If you could do them all in your head, that would be very impressive, but sometimes we need to write them down just to make sure that we've done them correctly. So you're going to work in pairs, all right? So Eric and Priscilla, you guys are going to work on this puzzle together, all right? And you thought that was going to be the amount of time we had, right? Time's up? That's all right. Here we go. So what I'd like you to do is take the cards, spread them out. Okay? You should have 9 cards. So make sure that you have 9 cards all together.
Yeah, we have.
All right. So what I'd like you to do is you're going to put these cards in order, and it's going to be a 3x3 puzzle. So here's an example of how it might look. Right? So you've got a 3x3, right?
From least to greatest, or?
Well, so that every side matches what it's touching. So this says 9, okay? So let's try this. 6 divided by 2 plus 4. So what's 6 divided by 2?
3.
3 plus 4.
7.
So can this card go on top of this one?
No.
No, we need something that equals 7 or is a 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can go like this, right? We know that that works. You guys see how this is going?
Yes.
Now we need to see, all right, -3 squared is what? So it means -3 times -3.
9.
So it's +9, right? Yeah. This says -9. So you found one that matches. So, okay, so you guys go ahead and copy this that we've got so far with yours, right? So you've got, let's see, you've got this one up top. Right.
This one.
There you go. And then the square next to it. Good. So what you want to do is, now I'm not saying that this is the upper corner, but we know that these 3 go together. So you have to make the puzzle complete, a 3x3.
Okay.
All right? So work with your partner, and it's up to you guys if you each want to take some different problems and see how you want to solve this, all right? All right, go. Okay, so what did you do on this one? Explain to me what you did here.
So I did 6 divided by 2 first, which is 3. Then I did 3 times 3, which is 9. Then I did 12 minus 9, which is 3.
Okay. So how about if we go 3 times 6 first? Right? Because if it's multiplication and division, we still do it in order from left to right. So 3 times 6 would give us what?
3 times 6 would give us 18.
And then 18 divided by 2?
9.
So now we have 12 minus 9.
So it would be the same thing.
So you got the same thing?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. How are you doing on this one, Eric?
I got 1.
Okay, so negative 16. So what part did you do first?
That's 13.
Do you see what you did? All right, so go ahead and fix it if you want. What should you do first? The 4 squared, right? So 4 times 4 is?
16.
There you go. So write down the 16. Now,
16 divided by 8 is 2.
so now negative 16 plus 2.
Negative 14.
Perfect. Right? So you know that that's negative 14. So now all you need to do is, you know that these two can't go together like that, right? So you can see there are a lot of different challenges with this, because once you find one answer, you need to make sure that the answers on all the other sides of that card work out to be the same thing, right?
So I have a question about this.
Okay.
On the ends, like if this was the end of the puzzle, then like these two problems, like just don't we do anything?
Right, there would be nothing, like if this was the end, there would be nothing that we need to do to solve that one, or if this was the top, we don't have to worry about that one. So you guys are on the right track? All right, we'll let you guys continue, and we'll see how the puzzle goes with the 5th and 6th grade students at Branch Elementary. And once again, big thanks to the staff and students at Branch Elementary. Did you see the fighter jets at the end of that right there?
Yeah.
Would you ever go in one of those? Why not?
I'm scared of heights.
Oh, scared of heights. Well, that's a good reason not to go in one of those anyway. We have Matthew in studio, but we do have another opportunity right now to head on out to the ROC and what they're doing with the vet class.
That's right, we're back with a little math in the real world, and we want to know exactly what really is going on here at the ROC Center. So we have Janice Anderson with us. Really appreciate your time today. This is an amazing place to be. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what part of this program that you teach?
Well, I've actually been involved with animals my entire life.
Okay.
My grandfather was a large animal vet, so it was kind of a given.
Right.
Ultimately, that led me to breeding and showing purebred dogs. And then I relocated to Kern County and ended up purchasing a board and care facility. I'd been managing one down south, so I wanted to take that next step and have my own business.
Good.
So I provide boarding, grooming, training, and transportation for dogs, cats, and cage pets. I also do pet transportation and relocation worldwide, and I still breed purebred dogs and I exhibit them as well.
My goodness, so you have lots of extra time in your hands.
Yeah, right.
Maybe not so much. Okay, so along with all those amazing things you do, you are also here at ROC.
I am, and actually what led me to this is when I moved to Kern County, I found out about the ROC program, and ultimately we got involved. I've been on the advisory committee for well over 20 years, and also we've been a community classroom. So second semester, we actually have students that come out, and they spend that second semester on site and learn by doing, so to speak.
And that's the best part about this, right? That's why we're here. We want to know how math works in the real world. These students are learning.
They're learning
by doing.
And they're learning about business. Ultimately, they're learning how to be involved in a business as an employee. We're also teaching them skills if they wanted to take that next leap and become a business owner.
Right.
And so I stress all the time with them that they really have to understand business. You've got taxes, you've got payroll, you've got all these things that they have to be aware of, and that's all about the numbers.
Bunch of numbers, that's it. So with this amazing new facility, and we have some students that are working here, can we see a couple things about what's going on today? Sure.
Yeah, what we're doing is we're doing grooming.
Okay.
So we have it set up. We've got our tables, hydraulic tables, makes it easier on them. Right now, the animals that we do use are either coming from employees of the school district, students, and we also go to the shelter and we bring animals over from the shelter.
Because the shelter is really close to
It's
here.
right next door.
Yeah,
So
what a wonderful audience you have there.
well, and the nice thing is that if we can clean these dogs up, we help them to get homes.
Good point.
So, you know,
and make
it's
sure they're healthy. They have lots of other aspects to that.
exactly,
as well.
and that really allows for the students to do the things they need to learn, both on the vet side as well as on the grooming side.
Right, right. So when a student comes in here at the beginning of the semester, do they start in this room?
Actually, they start with Dr. Hudek in the vet tech side. I just came on in the last few weeks,
Okay.
and so we're now kind of going over the basics about learning about the industry and the things that we need to do, the proper steps that need to be taken when working on the animals.
Right, gotcha. So they learn a little bit about the medical part, or at least the health of the animal first.
Exactly.
Which makes a ton of sense to me, and
Well,
then they
yeah.
can make them look better.
Right, because what they do is, the very first thing they do when they bring them over is they do what they call intake. So the students are going to examine the animal, they're going to take its temperature, respiration, all those kinds of things. So they're acting on the vet side, doing all of that, and having to learn, how to convert to kilograms from pounds and, all that kind of stuff.
Hooray
So,
for math.
yeah.
Okay. So can you tell us what these students are doing over here? What's going on? How are they
Actually,
looking
right
at this
now what
dog
they're
here?
doing is they're putting him back. This is one of the dogs we brought over from the shelter.
Okay.
We gave him a bath earlier, did his toenails.
Okay.
As you can see, he's a smooth-coated dog, so there's not a whole lot of work that goes into it. But he's very nervous,
Yeah, I was gonna
obviously.
say, he's got a lot of blue shirts around him.
Yeah, and a thing that people don't realize, that like a lot of the dogs are in the shelter for a reason, and a lot of it has to do with a lack of training. So they're not socialized, they're not exposed to things. So this is a wonderful opportunity for the animals. It makes them a little better to handle once they do go over there. Like with him, we turned the dryer on, he totally freaked out.
I bet.
So we're not going to put him in that situation and make him more upset. So we just hand dried him and towel dried him, which basically he got a massage.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he's much calmer now than he was when he arrived.
Right, right. Okay, and so you get them all cleaned up, and then what happens after that? Is there
Well,
a full...
they'll go back to the shelter dogs will be returned to the shelter,
sure, okay.
and then hopefully they'll be adopted.
Right.
You know,
right, that's what
it's a
we're shooting
win-win.
for. Yeah.
That's our goal.
No doubt.
And
Now,
then,
here at your facility, do you do vaccinations and other things like that?
are currently doing vaccinations. Okay.
Okay, so next semester,
Yeah.
we're looking to do some more of that
yeah,
stuff too.
baby steps.
That's right. Oh, totally. And with the facility, it has pretty much endless potential. You can do
Well,
all kinds of things.
I'm a full service vet.
Right,
You know, we've got
right.
surgery and everything. So,
That's great.
as and it's brand new, so it's
Right.
working into it and making things happen.
The students that are enrolled in your class, how do they get going? Did they have to do some prerequisites while they were in high school, or they just say, "Hey, I'm interested, off I go"?
I believe with ROC, it's a question of them at their high school level meeting with their counselors and making a determination they want to participate in an ROC program.
Counselor is your friend.
They
Counselor
should be,
is your friend in
yes.
high school. No doubt. All right, well, thanks so much for that time. We have a little bit more to show after we get back, of course, to the studio to do some more problems, because while there is math in the real world, there's also math to do in the Do the Math studio. Back to you, Mike.
That's right. Always math to do here in the studio. And to help us out with the math today, we have Matthew, a 6th grade student from McAuliffe Elementary. And we have a new problem for you to do. All right. So we have a little lengthy problem, order of operations. So Matthew, before you start working on that, explain to us a little bit about order of operations, what you know about that.
Okay. So what I know is that it's order of operations is PEMDAS, and it stands for Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. And the P stands for parentheses, E for exponents, M for multiplication, D for division. Wait, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. A is for addition, and S is for subtraction.
There you go. All right.
there.
So you and Cindy are together. How do you want to start that problem?
All right, so parentheses, right? Mm-hmm. Have you seen the brackets before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just grab a pen, whichever one you want. So the brackets are like a parenthesis, yeah? Because the parentheses are really groupy. Okay, so where should you start? You have a whole bunch of things going on in this with parentheses, right?
Yeah. I want to first start on this, then
Okay.
head on to here. This would.
So you're going to do -9 with +7 for the inside, right?
Mm-hmm. That would be a -2.
Uh-huh.
And then the exponent comes out here and puts 3. Wait.
Yeah, so since this is negative, go ahead and put parentheses just to make sure that negative stays as part of, actually put it right here, Oop. Moved it, sorry.
Didn't know you could move it that easy,
I
did you?
I really didn't here. Just because I moved it down. There we go.
Okay. And then, so we just leave the X there, parentheses here.
Yeah, even though there's parentheses there, it doesn't have work to do, so we don't do anything with that one right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Divided by, then
All right, now
Here
take a look
is
at that.
when-
Look at all these extra things. What should you do?
first this, because there's parentheses around here.
Okay.
Wait. -1?
So do you remember, like, the subtraction rule, when you subtract a negative, what it really means the same as? Where you add the opposite?
Yeah, but,
You change it to
and
added, and you change the other one to a positive?
wait.
So 4 subtract -6. Watch, ready? It's 4 degrees. Oh no, that's not going to help me because it's hard to subtract -6. It's kind of like reversing -6. So it goes change to add the opposite.
Oh, well,
Double
then-
negatives become positive, basically.
Okay. So it's a 10. Then you wait. To do times 2. That'll be 20.
Okay.
20 here.
So now you finished all your math inside your parentheses, right? Yeah, you can bring that stuff down.
Minus x, and then this we have to do exponents, I'm pretty sure. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, and it's negative, so -8.
Okay, good. I like that you caught that it was negative. Okay, now what if that was like a 2?
Then it'd be a -4, because 2 times 2 is 4.
But what's -2 times -2?
2 times -2 is -4. Wait,
What's a negative times a negative?
a positive.
Yeah. So this is right
So-
though, because there's 3 negatives. So it's negative times another negative.
Okay.
But if it had been even, it wouldn't automatically be negative like you were thinking. Okay, keep going, sorry.
Okay. This would be a positive, because it's a negative times a negative.
Good.
Okay. So it's positive 40, and then you have to divide it by 20, and then that would make it 2.
All right. So you got 2 from all that stuff, huh?
Yes.
Okay,
There you
nice
go.
job.
Nicely done. For some great work right there. You've got yourself 2 tickets to any athletic event at CSUB, courtesy of the CSUB Athletics Department. So congratulations on that. So, Matthew, you felt pretty good with that?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. I have a feeling you're gonna give me it.
Yes. All right. Erase the board. Let's give you another one.
I think we should do one where the division and multiplication are a little bit out of order,
Well, let's see what I can find
if you
here.
can find one.
All right. Let's open up a bracket. So start with a bracket, and then inside put a parentheses. And we'll put -7 in parentheses. Close the parentheses, plus 9, minus 7, close the bracket, square the whole thing, times, open a bracket, 5 divided by, open a parentheses, -5, close the parentheses, close the bracket, square it.
All right.
All right, there you go, guys.
So I'm going to do this one first, then head on to this one. Okay. So -7 plus -9 would be,
Well, that's positive 9.
oh yeah,
I know,
positive
my,
9
it kind of looks like I almost wrote a negative, huh? So -7 and positive 9.
would be a positive 2.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just put it right there on top of it. Would be a positive 2, and then after that you subtract it from 7, and what wouldn't that make a 5? -5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have negative, let me put it below. -5, and then you have it squared
And then let's do this again, just because that
Oh
the
yeah.
parentheses actually matter.
Okay.
If we have time, I'll show you why
this.
later. But
We divide a positive divided by a negative is negative. So yeah. So it's a -1. Then you would do -1 times -1 is a positive.
yeah, so you're starting like the next step. So let's go ahead and write that. Now go ahead and finish what your thought process was. So now you're going to square the -1.
-1 times -1 is a positive 1.
Yeah.
So positive 1 times -5 over that.
Yeah. So what's -5 times -5?
-5 times -5 is a positive 25. and then you times that by 1 and you get 25.
Okay, nice.
Nicely done. Do you think you could come up with a problem to do with order of operations?
Sure.
All right, erase the board.
Okay.
Well, we have to do it this way because.
Let's see what you come up with. Now, it doesn't have to be as detailed as one of those, all right? So come up with a problem.
Okay. Start with a bracket. Like 7. And then 3. And bracket. No, okay. Plus.
No exponent yet, huh? Okay. You don't have to use exponents either if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Keep going.
This would be a negative 6, 2, another bracket. Want this to be negative 12, and then 7 again.
Okay,
All right,
so
go ahead and
before-
solve that.
Before we start, do you want any math operation here, or are we just going to make it assume it's multiply like it looks right now?
You want to
Because
add or
if it's
subtract
together,
something
it's like
there?
a multiply.
No, like
So,
subtraction
and
then.
what about in here? Are you good with it being multiply?
Yeah,
Okay,
multiply.
and there also.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Okay, go for it. So,
These two would make a negative 21.
right.
21. And let me just put these. Negative 6, 2, minus. Negative 12 times 7 would be a negative 84. Minus negative 84. Wait, okay.
And I appreciate that you're not like skipping steps and getting lost in your work. That's good.
Okay. And then, so negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. Okay, so negative 21 plus positive 36 minus negative 84. Then we have to do left to right. So negative 21 plus positive 36 would be positive 15, and then that would be subtract negative 84.
And then you just add the opposite like you did last time.
Yeah.
So positive and positive, and then that would make, the answer would be 9D9.
There you go. Nicely done. Almost came up with a problem, landed right on 100. That would have been amazing if that happened like that. Nicely done. And for your efforts right there, a meal courtesy of our friends at Grillenberger. So congratulations on that. And I do believe we have one more opportunity to head out to the Regional Occupational Center and check in with the vet program in Scott.
Hey, a whole lot of math in the real world going on out here at the ROC Center and the Vet Tech program, and we wanted to make sure we spotlight a little bit of the different parts that a student goes through. We saw some hands-on stuff with the grooming, and now we want to see the book smart part where the math really comes into effect here in the classroom. And so we have these students doing some amazing things that even I don't know what's going on. So we're going to go ahead and turn over and let's see what where this lesson goes.
Okay, so we're gonna do this like it's one of our cases, okay? So Bella, the Chihuahua, just came in from outside. Her face is swollen and she is pawing at her muzzle. Dr. Simpson would like you to give 1 milligram per kilogram of Benadryl IM. Bella weighs 9.6 pounds, so what do we need to do to the pounds before we make that decision? Convert it into kilograms, good job. Dr. Simpson would also like you to give 0.5 milligrams per kilogram of Dex SP IV. So what do I need to put up here at the top, guys?
1 milligram over 1 kilogram.
What goes in this bottom portion?
Kilograms. When you convert 9.6, you end up getting 4.36 kilograms.
Good job. And then how many mgs per ml is the Benadryl?
50 milligrams.
Good job. So what are we going to do with these two numbers?
Multiply.
When we get that answer, what do we do with that?
Divide.
Perfect. So what answer did we get for our Benadryl?
0.08 milliliters.
0.08? Okay. And then did we get our Dex SP dose yet?
Yeah. 0.545.
And is it CCs or MLs?
They're the same.
Good job.
Solid. How'd you learn how to do all this stuff? My goodness. You all been practicing doing problems where you give doses of medications to different pets, is that right? Okay. And so what kind of goes into the background of being able to do that? I mean, as far as your conversion factors and all that fun stuff. Did you learn, like when you're canceling out your units and all that fun stuff, where did that come from?
Oh, we learned it.
Yeah? Did you do a lot of practice problems?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so do you all get a chance to go next door and administer these medications, or is that coming up later?
Not yet.
Not yet. Right. We want to make sure we know the background of it, right? So that we know what to do before we make any mistakes, because making a mistake on that level would be a bad idea, right? Bad news. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your background. We talked a little bit next door to some students or to one of the teachers, and we wondered how you get involved in a program like this, right? Did you talk to your counselor and say, hey, I want to be a vet, or I just don't want to be on campus anymore, I want to do something different? How do you get started out here at ROC? Okay, so you got to have good grades.
And then you
right.
put in the application.
Okay.
And then you go to your counselor.
Okay, gotcha. So the counselor gets you all going. And did you all decide to do this specific program or just ROC in general? Okay, gotcha. So what attracted you about this specific program? Why this one?
I think what attracted me is that like no other place or like program I think in the Kern High School District, and I think it can say for like a lot of high school districts, can like actually have you work in an environment where you're in a hospital 24/7. You're working with animals, everything is hands-on. You go from the classroom to the hospital, and it goes back and forth. So everything you learn here, you learn over there.
Would you say, I already know the answer, but I want to hear you say it. Would you say it's easier to do some of the book work when you know where it's going to be applied next door, right? When you know where it's going to be applied with an actual animal, where you know you don't have to ask that age-old question, when are we going to use this, right? You don't have to, I know when I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this in an hour next door when I'm actually doing this stuff, right? So it's a lot more motivation to be able to do what you want to do. Yeah, we're so grateful that you guys let us come out here. If you were to suggest something, right, since you have so much experience now at the ROC Center, if you were going to suggest something to a student who is currently in high school, what would you suggest they do to prepare to come to a program like this? Something pop to your mind?
I think they should at least be pretty good with algebra and like proficiency in like basic rules.
Okay.
Math, because you're going to need that when you're trying to do conversions for medications and things
Right.
like that.
So even if math isn't your favorite thing, you got to have some basic skills, right? So that you can do the things you want to do. Maybe even a means to an end, so we can make sure that we get the right things. Gosh, grateful for your time. Thankful that you let us come out here. I know I learned a whole lot. We also know that there's more math to do back in the studio. So we will return to the Do the Math studio, and maybe we'll learn a little bit more about some medications we can give to some animals here. Back to the studio, Mike.
All right, thanks for that, Scott. No medications today, but we do have Matthew in studio. Did you learn some math today?
Yes.
All right, next question, a little bit more difficult than that. Did you have fun today?
Yes.
Good. Well, I'm certainly glad you took out some time to come over and visit us. And until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Bakersfield West Rotary Stroop Family Foundation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, Kern High School District, and AC Electric Company, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.